there's been a lot of talk about how does this 2019 NBA Finals impact Steph Curry's legacy. And at first, a lot of people were making a big deal about the fact that the Golden State Warriors were unable to win without Kevin Durant. They made a big deal of Steph going 0 for 8 in the finals in terms of go-ahead shots and stuff like that. When the clutchest moments, he doesn't seem to be able to knock down a shot, especially that three he took in Game 6 that could have gave the Golden State Warriors a lead with 9.6 seconds. People feel that Steph comes up short in the NBA Finals. That's why they had to go get Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is essentially the reason why they have back-to-back finals and, 3 championships in 5 years, essentially. They're saying that Steph by himself is just not enough to lead a team, and he's just not that great. He comes up short in the smallest moments. While I could agree that Steph might struggle from time to time, I can't necessarily say that he comes up short in the NBA Finals, especially due to circumstances. Let's look at this circumstance. And one of the things that you have to understand is if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it. And history tells us if you have 2 stars go down in the NBA Finals, whoever teams that has 2 stars that go down, essentially they're not going to win that series. 1989 is a clear indicator of that. Magic Johnson went down with a hamstring injury, and Byron Scott went down with a hamstring injury. And that hurt them. Magic had to sit out the series. Byron could have played the rest of the series. And guess what? That stopped their run to the three-peat. So injuries played a factor in Detroit Pistons winning the championship in 1989 and the Los Angeles Lakers not three-peating. Well, fast forward to 2015, most recently. Kyrie Irving goes down with a kneecap injury. Kevin Love goes down with another injury in the NBA Finals. LeBron James, he tries to hold court, hold serve, loses in 6 games. 2 stars went down for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were unable to win the NBA championship. And they had the best player in the game on that team, and they were unable to win because 2 stars went down. Now we're looking at Steph Curry's situation. KD out with a calf injury, comes back, tears his Achilles. Klay Thompson misses Game 3. And on top of that, Game 6, when he's cooking, he had about 30 points. He tears his ACL. Warriors lose the series. So Steph Curry could do whatever he wanted. He could try to score 50, 60, 70, 80 points in a game or whatever the case is. But history clearly tells us that 2 stars go down, you're not winning that series. Now, people are talking about the stats. Well, hey, Curry's 0 for 8 in the final shots and the game-winning shots, and he's just a choker. He's just not got to lead the team. Let's talk stats, guys. This NBA Finals, Stephen Curry led his team in points per game with 30.5. He led his team in minutes. He played almost 42 minutes a game. He sat basically 6 minutes every game, and just 48 minutes in a basketball game. He sat only 6 minutes for every game, guys. And he led his team in free throws, shooting almost 95%, 0.947% from the free throws charity stripe. In the finals, he averaged 30.5 points, 6 assists, and 5.2 rebounds. He averaged 30. He averaged 6 assists, 5.2 rebounds. Warriors were only able to pull out 2 wins, like I said before, due to the fact that they had so many injuries. But it's not like he was averaging 22, 21 points per game. He had good numbers. Oh, he didn't shoot a high percentage. Well, LeBron James didn't shoot a high percentage in 2015 when Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving went down. So you can't really hold that against Curry either. Just like some people feel like they're not going to hold the 2015 finals loss against LeBron, even though he was up 2-1. You shouldn't really try to hold this loss against Stephen Curry and say he's awful in the finals when he didn't have a full complement of players. When he had a full complement of players, they went back-to-back. They went back-to-back. And in 2015, when he had his full complement, his full roster, they won that series as well. So when we're talking about stats, let's look at stats as a whole and not try to make it seem like only the clutch shot matters or whatever the case is. Because if only the clutch shot mattered, then we would be ignoring all the other times that he came up big and he scored big and he actually did something in the finals. Those two finals that Kevin Durant won, finals MVP, Stephen Curry was averaging about 25, 26 points per game in those finals as well. This finals without KD and Clay going down, he averaged 30.5 points per game. And on top of that, you really think about it, he had a 47-point game, and they lost that game. So that just goes to show you one man, especially a jump shooting guy, a team predicated on a jump shooter who loses all their shooters, and a team that you could play a boxing one against, they're not going to win that series if it's just one guy. That's like Allen Iverson in the 2001 finals. And lastly, one of the key things that people really want to kind of like throw under the rug, they're talking about his legacy. Steph's legacy is cemented already. He's one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. He's in his early 30s. He still has time left to write the legacy to finish it up. You're looking at a 3-time champion. He's 3-5 in the finals. He has a 60% winning percentage in the finals. KD or not, whatever the case is. This man is a 2-time MVP, 1-time unanimous MVP. All right? People are saying, well, he didn't win the finals MVP. Well, let's talk about the 2015 finals, guys. Let's talk about it. Stephen Curry averaged 26 points. I got the numbers here. He averaged 26 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 6 assists. He scored more than Iguodala. He was 0.6 less rebounds than Iguodala. Iguodala averaged 5.8 rebounds. Curry averaged 5.2. He averaged 2 more assists than Iguodala. So he averaged more points, more assists, and just about the same amount of rebounds. But Iggy got the NBA Finals MVP due to the fact that he was guarding LeBron and he was helping to slow LeBron down. And him coming off the bench actually changed the momentum of the series just a little bit. It changed the momentum in terms of guys getting off and stuff like that. Plain and simple, Curry deserved the 2015 NBA Finals MVP. And the reason he didn't get the Finals MVP is because the people doing the voting, what they did is a weird system where Iggy and Steph were essentially tied for the same amount of Finals MVP votes. And since they only had like a limited amount of people to vote, they lumped Curry and Iguodala's votes and they sent them all to Iggy's way. And you can find that story. It's on ESPN somewhere. But that's essentially what happened. But people want to bang on him for not winning the Finals MVP when in 2015 he was the Finals MVP. Overall, he was the Finals MVP. So legacy talk, I don't think it's really safe and it's not fair to really bang on Curry when you have two guys go down, you're not winning. Stats-wise, he's up there with anybody that played in the finals. He might not be as efficient or whatever the case is, but Kobe wasn't efficient. Nobody thinks any less of him. And then you want to talk about his legacy. He's done more things earlier in his career than most people do in a whole entire lifetime. He has 3 rings, same as LeBron. He has 3 rings, same as Dwayne Wade. I mean, he has 2 MVPs. Some guys don't even go in 1 MVP. Kobe only has 1 MVP. So I think we need to kind of halt the narrative that Steph's legacy is taking such a huge hit for losing the finals. I don't think so. Hoops Junction. We're Hoops, meets Hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.